This conference will now be recorded.
Right. Here we have talked about all Linux basics. So I'll start the Linux, the MongoDB basic installation today. Okay. So try to follow this. Anyway, I'll repeat again tomorrow one more time and then move ahead with the architectures. I'll explain the entire procedure. This is not the end of the story. I'm going to discuss this many a times because we have to do many times different types of installation as we move on. But still, at least basic wise, you need to understand what we need to do as part of the basic installation. So I'll go with the root account here first and check the Google Access first. I'm able to reach the Google or not to download the setups, what we're going to install. So we are able to reach the Google, in fact. Okay. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the service account required for running the product. Okay. And that service account is going to own the directories where the product is going to run, in fact. So first I need to create the group add. So it is already root account, so I don't have to call the sudo. If I log in with a different account, like different account we use, right, sudo accounts, Ravinder and yesterday Harish and all the accounts we have seen. So if you have, example, I'm using Ravinder, then I have to call sudo, whatever I'm doing it. So let's use Ravinder, whatever it is. So or else if I use root, then I don't have to call sudo. That is the only difference. Sudo group add. Okay. Let's match the other notes for your easy follow-up. In fact, I'm creating the group name called MongoDB. Okay. Sudo group add, group name is MongoDB. One by one, let's hit it. So MongoDB. Now it's there. It's if it is there, good enough. We don't have to worry about. I want to create the account. Sudo user add svc mongo. Okay. svc mongo group is the primary group is MongoDB. MongoDB. It got created. svc mongo user got created. Now what I have to do, I have to set the password. Without the password, user can't log in, right? Sudo password and then svc mongo. It should be just password wd. Come on. So I'm setting the password. Good enough. So to install the MongoDB, we need four directories: one data directory, one log directory, one setup directory, one config directory. Four directories we should have. So let's come back here. We created a group. Okay. Then we added the service account to the group. Then we set the password. First step is completed as of now. Then where I want to do the installation, I have to check the location. I need to check where we have enough of storage in the system that I need to identify. So if I look at this one, 6 GB and 1.6 GB is used, total 4.5 GB is free at the moment. Compared to this one root volume, you should not use that one, but this is one having little above. Home directory also you should not use for any installation because home directory owned by normal users. Outside of the system, this has a good space. In the real world, you'll find /mnt, /opt, those directories will be created with a large volume of storage, at least 100 GB minimum, like 200 GB, 300 GB. It depends on the amount of data you are expecting to put on the system. Based on that, user file systems will be added to the server. It can be anywhere. The process is same. Okay. I'm going to use a var directory for our installation. So here I'm identifying this is the location where I want to install. If I have something here, I'm going to delete everything. I don't want anything to be available because I want to delete this entire directory. Oh, I have to use sudo. We'll do fresh. Okay. So now I don't have any directory here. So second step is finding the storage where you are going to install. See, identify the location where we have a good free space in a user-defined file system to keep the data log setup directory. And these are all we have to keep it. For that, where we are identifying here, we are going to choose var directory for our data setup discussion. So here under var directory, I'm going to create one directory, mkdir. It can be any name, it doesn't matter. Mkdir MongoDB. Let's give anything. It can be. It no need to be a MongoDB. It can be Mongo server. I'm just keeping Mongo server. You can give any name for that matter. Doesn't matter. I created here one directory. I need to create under etc also a config server. The config file Mongo server runs using the config. The config will define what kind of parameter it has to use to run the server. So all configs we will keep in etc only, under etc generally everywhere in any environment. Config servers means the configuration parameters how Mongo need to run. So under etc also I'm going to create one directory, mkdir Mongo server. Let's match that Mongo server. Sudo. Okay, now I need to use this by the service account. I have created a service account right just now. SVC Mongo just now we created just before I try to delete this. We created SVC Mongo. So on the directory where I want to install the product, this directory should be owned by our service account. To own the directory, what I have to do? Chown sudo chown svc mongo, and here group is mongodb and what mongo server directory. Okay, so now you go and check here the directory owned by svc mongo, the group is mongodb. The same way I'll do under etc also. Under etc also I created the directory. Okay, the same directory mongo server directory under etc, so I'm giving the ownership there also so that I can keep the config. So if we go and check here Mongo server somewhere here. See Mongo server owned by or our Mongo service account here under etc directory. So we are good enough with the service account. So I will log in with the service account now. Okay, this is what if I go to the document again. We have created one data directory under var, one directory under etc. So here what we called it as Mongo server, MongoDB server, Mongo server. What did I create? Mongo server. So let's match the nodes also for you so that it will be easy for you when you do the setup. So we created two directories, one under var, one under etc with the same name. After that, I have took the ownership here. We have created the directory. Then we have given the ownership to service account, our service account.
So, Ravinder, one question.
Yeah, yeah.
The two directories which we created, one under var and one under etc, the
Mm.
name should be same or we can change the name? We can have
It could
different
be
name.
anything, doesn't matter, but it should be owned by service account. That's the important thing.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
got it, got it.
Where is Sikandar is not joined today? Right. So now if we go here, it is owned by, it can be any name, it doesn't matter. No need to be with the same name, in fact. Okay. It can be anything. So here also I need to match here. Right. Then I need three directories for our MongoDB installation minimum under MongoDB server. So Mongo server, if I go to here, first I'll log in with the service account because we gave the ownership to service account, right? SVC Mongo. I set the password. I'm going to use the same password what I set here, cd var Mongo server. Here it can do anything because the service account SVC Mongo own this directory, Mongo server directory. So here I'm going to create mkdir data log setup. Three directories minimum we wanted. Today is a basic installation. Okay, we will go lot many parameters, lot many configurations as we move on. For now, let's stick to those directories. Okay, we must stick to those. In fact, oh, this guy just don't call why. Okay, so now if I go to data log setup, here there is nothing. We created just empty directories. Now what I have to do, I have to get the required software on this machine. Okay, we have to get the required software on this machine. We have to find suitable package for this OS. In fact, what is the OS we need to find? What is the OS we need to find? So let's go and check the OS. What is OS? Cat etc. Okay, and Red Hat release. There is something called Red Hat release. This is going to tell you the operating system that we have on the machine. In fact, okay. So if you see this one, 7.6 operating system right now, what we have. So I need to go to the website. Okay, here, download MongoDB community server. Click on this. Okay, let's go with the latest version 6. Okay, 6, one of the latest version. Market is running 6, 7, 8. Mostly our market is running on 6. Lot of servers. 7, 8 is something very current, so no one uses. 5.0 also we still have the market, but 6, 7, no one install the 5.0 anymore. It's gone, and you have to go to 6.0, 7.0, 8.0. I'll use 6.0 for now. Then we'll see how do we upgrade to 7.0, from there to 8.0. Multi upgrades also we'll see. So for now, I'm choosing the 6.0 MongoDB version. In fact, okay. So now, if I check the version, what is the platform? You need to select the platform. What is operating system where you are going to install? You have to select that operating system related package. If you get the wrong one, it will not install simply. So what do we have in our machine? Red Hat CentOS 7.0. 7 point anything is a 7.0 version. 8 point anything is 8.0 version. It is that way. So I have to use 7 point. This is a correct package for our OS. If you get any other package, it will not install. You have to search for your operating system, Red Hat CentOS 7.0 version, 64-bit, and get the tar file. This is a tar file, we call it as tar. Tarball installation. Whatever I'm doing is a tarball installation or YAML installation or manual installation, user managed installation. We call this method many ways. In fact, did I write that? Yeah, tarball installation, YAML installation, binary installation, user managed. All these called as whatever we are trying to do today. These all names will be called with for this installation in the Mongo. YAML installation, tarball, binary, user managed installation, all will refer to the same thing what we are trying to do. So now,
Are there any prerequisite packages, Ravinder, or just this
no,
package?
no, you don't have to worry about. Every OS is compatible. Whatever the extra packages after this product or utility packages, we have to install separately and make them ready. That I'm going to explain. This is server only what you're going to get. But
Sure.
before that, you don't have to install anything as a dependency. Okay, on the database server side. So now I'm going to get this link. I'm going to download. I'm going to download under the setup directory. So we have here, these are the directories. Let's go into setup directory. We don't have anything here as of now. So wget. Wget is a command to download anything from the internet. Okay. It goes to this link and download whatever is there in this link automatically. So wget is one command to download anything from the internet, and the Red Hat also, even CentOS also. So it is downloading that setup. You can see that. So we need to download the tools also. This only server package. This is only the server package. You need to download tools also. Click on the tools. The server package we downloaded. Now MongoDB community server. Here we downloaded. This is the one. Okay. What we just downloaded is that. In fact, now I need to go to the tool section. Under tools, Mongo shell. First thing you need to download the Mongo shell. This is the one is a client tool. Mongo shell is a client tool, in fact. So you select your operating system Linux. Okay. Here CentOS and all that you don't have to worry about. Linux is enough. You can select this one also. RHL 7 CentOS 7 plus 64. Use this one also, or else you can use this Linux. This also works fine. Absolutely. Don't have to worry. So it works on all Linux platforms. There is no operating system, but Linux platform. So pick this one. It's a client tool, not a server. So now I'm going to get duplicate and download that tool as well. This is only client tool. Utility tools, management tools, taking the backups, restores, rebuilding indexes, managing the files. Those are all utility tools, managing the security and all, right. So for the utility tools, you have to go to separately. So this is a Mongo shell database. I'll tell you. You browse through, not this one, not this one, not this one, right? This one, MongoDB command line database tools. This one you have to download. Three things you have to download as a mandatory on every server. This is the latest version. You have to keep it the latest version only. Keep it there. So you have to use Red Hat 7.0. This one, use that one. tar file, get it, and then download. I have written every notes. Don't worry. So I'll refer that as well for you. If I come to here, see, first prepare the MongoDB setup binaries to install the MongoDB. To find the appropriate binaries for installation, we need to find the machine operating system to download the compatible MongoDB binaries. This document is real. We give this document to everyone who join in our project. In fact, as a basic thing, they refer this document. In fact, okay. Similar, I mean, approach wise, the like the folders and all different, but steps wise it is absolutely same what we use in our real time. Okay, so now I need to find the operating system. Once I find the operating system, then I need to download them. Download the This will download the server binaries. Okay, then you need to download the client binaries, right? So on Mongo website, we need to click on the tool section, use a MongoDB command line database tools to download. Then second, this will download the client and management tools. Which one? Come on, this one. Second one. This one is going to download the client management tools. This one is going to download the client. So it's going to download client tool, which we use, to connect the Mongo server.
It is Mongo shell, right, Ravinder?
Shell, correct.
Okay.
So shell binary is required to connect to the Mongo server. Okay,
Okay.
it's mandatory. Utility binaries are required to manage the Mongo. In fact, utility binaries.
Okay.
Let's make here. So for utility binaries, what do you say? Let's make this name also for you, so it will be easy.
Mongo shell is nothing but a client, is it?
Client tool, correct, like SMS for the SQL Server.
Okay. And the server and the utility tools, right?
Yeah. I'll give it this. Okay, in the bracket. Okay, this tool. What you need to download is MongoDB command database tools. This will download client and management library. So this will download the management library. Client anyway we gave it above. So we have downloaded server binaries, shell binary to talk to the server, to connect to the server, and then management binaries to do the administrative activities, backups, restores, rebuilding indexes, files management. In fact, reading the Mongo binary backend files. There are many binaries we're going to use it, and we're going to talk about in detail. So three you have to download. So you can download. See, go to in the tool section. Go to MongoDB command line database tools is one thing, and the shell. Mongo shell is one thing, and then community, this server, like MongoDB server download is another thing. You select the required version, required operating system, compatible, and then get the tar file and download. So this way you download all the three packages. Okay. Now we have to extract them. Okay, if you are not able to download because internet is not working, okay, because yesterday I restarted this machine, that's why I'm able to download today. I did not shut down the server. So if it is not letting you to download from the internet, you run this command sudo service network restart. It will start the downloads automatically. Whatever the VM I have given in the class, it has two Ethernet cards. One is the internal communication, one for the internet communication. So for getting the internet communication, you have to restart the NAT gateway. This will restart that NAT gateway, that Ethernet card. Then you can talk to the internet automatically to download the setups. After that, we have to here 6.0 what I used, not 5.0. Right. So to download the server, or else I'll give this location directly where you can download. In this location, you can find. No need to search for it. Just okay, older than 5. Okay, that's a different story, right? Yeah, good thing. So if I go to here, if I want to download the older versions, right? What are the older versions you want to download? It's a they archived the setups. In fact, is it not loading? No such query found. Really? They removed it? Just a minute. Hmm. From here itself, they removed the link, it seems, huh? They're not giving that anymore. Current releases, development, archive releases. You click on this archive releases here. It's removed, it seems. It's blank, see? They're not supporting anymore. They should give it actually. Yeah, it is given, right? Archived releases. So following direct download links for the MongoDB community. So we are not installing the old ones anyway, but still you have the links here. Okay, it is good. So this is the one, right? The same. So here you have every link to download. In fact, if you look at here, it is Ubuntu related. It's 8 point. Okay, come down. You'll find all the versions anyway. Six version. If I go to completely down, the version it is talking about? 2.6 also. No one does this one. They're making every version available. I'll talk about the versions today at the end of the class or tomorrow morning. What are the versions we have in MongoDB? Which versions you should aware of? So this mostly they will ask in the interview. For now, from here you can download any version that you want. Absolutely, old versions if you want. If your company need. Very rare that we are going to the lower versions, but anyway, if you want, this is a link where you can go and get the archive setups for each operating system. Right. So once they are downloaded, extract the setup files. Whatever we got is a zip files. In fact, if you see, they are not direct files. They are got zipped out. So they are the tar files. Use a tar -xvf. Okay, to extract, and then give this one. It is going to extract that file. These are all management binaries. This is a server binary. Tar -xvf, and then download them. The server binary. These are all server-side binaries. Every binary we will go through very in detail discussion in our course. Don't worry. Very in detail, in fact. So there are limited binaries in MongoDB. That's very good for you to follow every binary, what they do, in fact. So now we have extracted. So we have to put all of them together at one place. So these are the tools. I'll pull and then paste it into the server binary location. So this is the directory where I have the files. So cd, use this one. Okay. And if I go to here, there will be bin directory. If I go to bin directory, this is where all management binaries. Okay. Now cp asterisk all files. All files. I went inside this directory. I went inside the bin directory. Two directories inside I am right now. See where Mongo setup. Inside the Mongo setup, I went inside this directory. Inside this directory, there is a bin directory. Inside the bin directory right now, let me show this path. So if you see, this is a setup location where we downloaded. Inside it, I'm inside one directory. Inside this directory, we have a bin directory. Inside that we have this current files, these files. So what I'm going to say, cp copy all. I'm not specifying anything. Copy all of them. Go to directories backward. When you're copying, go to directories backward. If you go to two directories backward, you'll find this. You'll find this. Under the setup directory, you have this one. So go to directories backward. Find the directory. Under that, you have a bin directory also. So copy all of this. When you're copying, go to directories backward. You will find this under that bin directory. If I hit this one, it's going to copy from here to the server binary location automatically. Okay. So if I go example where I am right now, so try to follow. It is simple. I'm into setup, MongoDB database tools, and the bin. If I give it to dot dot slash dot dot, it will take me to setup directory. See? We came back to setup directory. That's what I said to the copy command. Go to directories backward. Then you'll find this directory. Under that directory, you have a bin. Copy there. Getting? If you confuse, please let me know here. When you're copying,
From the tools extract, you have copied it to the
server
other
binary
directory,
location.
right? Okay.
Yeah, here. So client also, I'll go inside the client, the shell. Here you'll find a bin. Everywhere bin directory will be there. Under bin, you'll have it. This one I want to copy again. When I copy both, go to directories backward again. You'll find this. You'll find this. Under that, you'll find the bin directory. Okay, now if I go to the actual our binary location, two directories backward. So here, if I go to here, okay, under the bin, you have all the binaries at one place. These all MongoDB binaries. If you know all of these binaries in and out, you know the MongoDB simply. Okay, MongoDB entirely managed by these binaries only from the background. Okay, we will go through every binary very in detail in fact. But now,
Ravinder,
yeah, good.
yeah, so we downloaded uh, the client tool
Mm,
and the server as well as command shell, right? Which are
mm,
in tar file. So
mm,
we have extracted them. So the
correct.
ones which are in blue color, right?
Mm,
Uh, the directories. So
mm,
those are extracted ones, correct?
correct. Mm,
So in there is a bin directory, correct?
correct. In every folder, you have a bin directory by default that will be there.
Yeah, bin directory. In bin directory, there are some files.
Not the files, binaries. We call it as binaries
Okay, so those binaries we are copying those binaries into which directory?
into server binary in this directory. Copied from here to here, copied from here to here to get into one place. Okay,
Oh, okay, okay.
to get them
Into
into
server
all into one place.
one place. Okay, got it.
Okay, you got it right.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, anything you can ask, guys. So now what I have to do, I wanted to make these binaries available for everyone to use. In fact, let me talk something in Windows first before I go and talk about that. CMD. Okay. If I go and use Mongo, it is connecting the server, Mongo server. I have the Mongo server in my local system also. It is down, it seems. It is calling the MongoDB automatically. Mongo binary it is calling. Why it is calling? From where it is calling basically? There is something called environment variables. Environment variables. Go to here, system, edit the system environment variables. Okay. Then here you have a environment variables here. You have the path here. Edit. You will find all the paths. If I see MongoDB directory, program files tools 100 bin here, what version it is called? In fact, let me see. It is called 5.0 version. So which mean here in this location it is server bin location. There's a tool bin location. Let's see. I'll pick this path. I'll tell you this, just correlate the Windows and Linux. So this is where I have no, it's a binary location. These are all utility binaries. Where is the Mongo binary? We'll see here. Okay, this is server binary. Let's see. Is it there in the server binary? Let me open another directory. Right, here it is. Mongo, MongoD, MongoS. This is the one I'm calling. So this directory is there here. If I remove it, if I delete this directory from there, what happens? It is not deleting physically, okay? The accessibility is gone. So now if I close this one, if I try to, come on, if I try to call Mongo, it will throw the error. Why? It doesn't know. It doesn't know about this command because I removed environment variable. Environment variable are accessed by every user in the system. If I run a command, any command, it will go to that environment variable and search for the command and execute. That's how it happens. Environment variable in Windows mean here any command you run, that command, it will go to all these paths and try to find the command. If it is finding, it will execute the command. So here it is not executing the command because I removed the directory from that. Now what I'm going to do, come on, here I'm going to pick this path. Okay, then I'll go to environment variable. Again I'll go and make the new path and keep this entry here. Okay, click it OK, click it OK, click it OK. We're done. Now you have to close this and get the new one. Then only it will read the new path. So if I go on here, run the Mongo, it will run the command, right? It is running the command because we made it available under the environment variable. The environment variable path is available to everyone in the system. Everyone in the system, they can directly access it. So the similar thing in Linux also we have. To access these binaries, I need to make this path accessible to everyone. I need to make this path available to everyone so that someone, if I call the Mongo sh, it should call. It is saying command not found because it doesn't know this path. This path it doesn't know. So if I go and see echo dollar path, what are the default paths it is reading? These are the default paths it is reading at the moment. Okay, these are the default paths it is reading. So I want to change that. So to change this, you have to go to cd etc profile d. Okay, etc profile d. Here there will be whatever you give it here, that will be executed automatically for every user automatically, not only for one user. Entire systems, whoever come into the OS and connect to the machine, they will be executing all these files by default, everyone. So there is a mongo.sh right here. So mongo.sh, there is a format to make this available. So if I go to cd where mongo server, right, setup. So come on, I'll go to MongoDB Linux server, right, under bin. This is where I have the binaries. This is the path I need, and it has to be put in a format or some format. So you extracted, you copied into one directory, you found all the directories at one place, and this is the one you have to keep it. This path you have to make in this format. This is how you have to make this format. It's mandatory. So let me see. You extracted this, then pwd. Okay, you copied. See, copy. You can see that. I have used the same method there, and then we put them all into one place. Then I'm creating the environment variable. In fact, this environment variable is very much important when we upgrade a Mongo server. This is where we change the binaries to use the latest binaries, in fact. Okay, So this is the, this is the format you have to give it to call our binary location to anyone in the system. So now I'm going to take this one. Okay, go to cd etc profile d here. Go to cd etc profile d. The file name can be anything, doesn't matter. Okay, it should be done through the root account or else any sudo account. This Ravinder is also sudo account, right? So cd etc profile D. I'll explain again, don't worry. The entire process again I'll explain from the beginning. Let me pass through the configuration, then I'll explain again. So now mongo.sh, right? I'll remove that file. I'll remove this. It's gone. Oh, sudo. It is old file. Ah, to give the password. Right. So I can give any name. Vi mongo server or your name, my name, anything. .sh. All sh files are executables generally. So that is a format we have to give it. Vi mongo server.sh and give this format. What we have, go to insert mode, and then give this exact format. We kept our binary location here. Okay, this is the same thing. Export path and this path should be same. Only this you have to change this one according to your location. I'll pick this path, go to here, and then put it here. Okay, then I'm going to save this. Oh, did I open with what? What is the user I opened? Come on. Oh, I should use sudo. Right. So I posted this one. Export path, our binary location, complete binary location where we have our binaries and $path. So then I'm going to save this one. It got saved. Now, if I go and run the Mongo sh is a client binary, it will not call. What I have to do, get it called? I have to log off and log in. Then only it will read. Okay, you must log off and log in. Even the command prompt also I closed and open.
No, you can run source command or dot dot. You can do, right?
No, you should not use it. What was that? What you said? Source?
Source and that.
Oh, no, that is a
That.
first profile, bash RC one. What you're
Okay, okay,
saying it.
okay, okay, okay.
I got where you're coming from. That bash RC something it will reload, but this is something we are loading in etc profile D. Okay,
Okay.
it is equal anyway. Bash RC this is equal, but for this one it has to be you have to log off and log in. So now if I go and check the Mongo sh, it will call the Mongo sh. See, it is called Mongo sh trying to connect the server, but server is not available. Now if you go and check the echo $path, it will tell you what are the paths it is reading. It is reading our path. See this Mongo server setup and 6.0 bin. It is reading our path directly. That's why it is able to call. It is able to call whatever I posted in this directory. It is directly called because it is there in the etc profile D in one of the path. Okay,
We
so
had to
not
do both in, sorry to interrupt. We had to do both in Windows and here also. Linux.
if it is a
Environment
Windows,
setup.
yeah, everywhere in Windows means you have to make the environment variable so that it will call that binary, else it won't call directly, right? You have to go to that path. Example, let me share this. What he's saying is, if I'm calling Mongo, it is able to call. Why it is able to call? Because it is there in the environment variable. If it is not there, what I have to do to execute? What I have to do?
Okay. In Oracle, we don't do this Windows setup environment, so I'm a little bit confused.
In Windows,
Mm.
this one is important. If you are not doing what happens, example, I am going to delete this. Okay. If I wanted to really use that binary location, then I have to go to that path and call the binary manually. If I don't have that in the environment variable, simply, come on.
Is it the real-time practice that setting that profile.d always, or is
Yes,
it through the bash profile?
bash rc also equal. Even we are entirely using the profile D, in fact, not the bash rc. Bash rc is only available for one user, the service account. This is available for everyone. So we wanted to make the binaries available to everyone, in fact, not the service account. Bash RC is available to respective user. For every user, there is a bash RC. Okay, that's a different story.
Got it.
Okay, that one will be managed only for the service account. But if you are connecting with some user, you can't use the binaries. With this method, anybody can use the binaries, in fact. Okay, that's a good thing. We are using this method only in our entire environment. So now,
So sorry to interrupt. In
yeah, go ahead.
Oracle or Postgres, we don't go with Windows thing stuff. We
I'm
only
not.
set up here. Yeah, but the difference what I saw
See,
here.
see, I'm using the Linux only. I'm just comparing the Windows to Linux. That's it here. Environment variable, I'm not calling from the Windows, okay? Linux is Linux. I'm comparing. I'm comparing from the command prompt. I'm comparing to Linux. This is a Linux. I'm not sitting in Windows and calling from here. I'm I'm setting here under etc profile D for Linux, in Windows in the environment variable. Oh, you got confused or what?
So in Windows, it is compulsory we have to do, or it is not needed in real time.
You don't have to. Windows, you don't have it all. Here I have Windows and VM. So in the real time
Oh,
directory, it's a Linux. So there is no Windows kind
okay,
of concept for you. So
okay.
Linux thing,
In Windows also, you have to configure environmental variables for Mongo.
right, for this Linux setup, you don't have to. I'm just comparing. In the Linux, you go to etc profile D and you are making one file, and that file is having your environment variables. This environment variable. Okay.
Mhm.
So
From
this
here it is
path,
calling.
so this path is set to universal, I mean any user that is logging into the system, right?
Correct. Any user can call this path and call the binaries automatically. The similar thing in Windows, the environment variable. I am comparing. It's not I'm doing in Windows, that's why I'm able to call from the Linux. No, they are different stories. I'm just telling you that in Windows you do that way, in Linux you do this way.
I got it. I got it. I got confused. Yeah.
Clear, right?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, good, good. Anyway, you ask any question, I'm happy to help you. Because you're keeping yourself, you don't ask again, you struggle yourself to when you're doing. Okay, I'm okay. Any silly question, guys, I'm absolutely okay. You just ask that. You have question, you clear it out simply. Good enough. So now I'm able to call the Mongo SH, right? We are ready with the binaries. Now come to the server side. Okay, actual server side will go now, in fact. So we must log off and log in with the service account to use the binaries from the environment variable. That's something I said. Whenever you change environment variable, you have to log off and log in, then only you can read the binaries, else you can't read it. Okay, that's there. Now under etc mongo server, what we have built, okay, are to build the mongodb.conf. Conf means configuration file. The configuration file should have our path, data directory path, log path must be matched. So I'll go to cd var mongodb server. Okay, here we have a data directory, log directory. So this is the path I need to update here in the server parameters, where mongodb here up to. Okay, and where no, here up to. I'll explain these parameters, don't worry. So this is a very basic YAML data. This is a YAML format. In fact, you are defining a parameter. Using these parameters, Mongo server will start. In fact, to start the MongoDB, you need this basic parameters. Okay. So now system log. Log means log file. See, every product will have a log file. Log file for what? Writing all the events, any errors, any issues, that warnings that are happening, any actions you are taking, deleting the collection, creating the collection, modifying something, You want to log, they will be logged in the error log only, server error log. This is where we troubleshoot all our MongoDB issues. In fact, if something goes wrong with the MongoDB, where do you troubleshoot? You will troubleshoot from this file only. So you have to define where it has to write the Mongo event logs. What are happening on the system, it will write here. So every time it writes, it should append, it should not overwrite. We have one more thing called log append, log reopen. True, log reopen means every time you restart the server, it will create, it will open the new file. It will overwrite kind of thing. It should not do that. It should append. It should append the all events to the same file unless you recycle a file manually or through automation. How do you recycle the Mongo log file is a separate administrative task we're going to talk about. For now, if you want to troubleshoot the MongoDB, it has to write the Mongo server issues or events or whatever you're trying to do. All the things it has to write somewhere, that is called log file. And the data path, storage, your DB path. It has to write your data, right? When I'm modifying the data, it has to write where? In the Mongo server in the data directory. If I'm creating a database, it has to create the database name, and inside the files it will create. So this one, directory per DB. If you don't mention this, what happens? With, without, I'll talk about. For now, I'll go with. Without, let's go with without. Let me explain this. It will be not a good thing. That parameter is very much important. I am going without for now. With also I'll show. So now this one, this parameter, what it does, I'm going to run the MongoDB server from the user shell. So it should fork, it should create a service in the background to run as a MongoDB service. If you don't use this one, okay, I start the MongoDB server, I quit my session, server also will be stopped automatically. It will become session dependent. From whatever the session you started the server, if you close that session, server also will stop. So to not to have that dependency, we are saying that fork. Fork means remove the dependency from the user, run as a service in the background. I'll run it and go. I'll quit from the machine. Still, it should run as a service in the background. So that's what this process management fork true mean. And who should connect to MongoDB? All, everyone. You can restrict if you want specific IPs, specific group of networks, subnets, everything you can filter here if you want to. And what is the port? MongoDB default port 27017 is the default port, in fact. Okay. Okay. So fine. So these are the parameters we must use. I want to talk about directory per DB. With and without. Okay, without, let me first with, let's go with, and without we'll see. Directory per DB. True. This is very much important. If you miss this one, we're going to lose lot of administrative control. Single parameter, it makes lot difference in the background. But anyway, I'll, without both, I'll start. First, let's start with this. So I'll go to cd etc mongo server. All generally, all the config files will be under etc only as a standard in any product. etc mongo server, this is where I am right now. vi mongodb.conf. Conf means config file. All config files will be given as a cnf or conf generally. So I'll give it vi means it is opening the new file. See, it is a new file. Insert mode and paste those parameters. So system log will be here, storage path is here, it is going to run as a service, it is going to connect on this port, it will be available for every IP that is authorized to connect to this machine. So these are all parameters. Now I'm going to save these parameters. Before I start the server, let me connect with one more session to show you things. And after, before, svc mongo cd var mongo server data. It is empty, absolutely empty. If I go to one directory backward, log directory also empty. See, it is empty. Now I'll go to data directory better because it builds more files there. Here it is empty as of now. I'm going to start the server from here. So Mongo server binary is Mongo daemon we call it as. Mongo daemon means server service. To run the Mongo server, you have to use the Mongodb. It's a server binary. We call it as a server binary, and use the F. F is a to call the config file. We use a F flag, or else you use the hyphen config. Both are same. Use hyphen config or hyphen F. Absolutely replaceable. One of either use the hyphen F or hyphen config. Just a minute. Then where we kept our config file, etc mongo server and mongodb.conf. What this will do, it will go to this config file, it look for the data file, it look for the log file and start the server. In the background service, because fork is given, if I hit this one, it is going to start the server. See, it started the server. Now if I go and check the data directory, you can see that these files are created. There is an admin database, there is a config database, there is a journal. Journal is a very important local database. There are 3 databases by default. It ran without a security, so security separate module. We'll talk about that. This is a Mongo server. If I go and check the databases, you can see the databases. Admin config local. If I create a new database, use lab. Creating database here, not create database name. Use it itself enough. It is created logically at the moment. You don't find here anything. Empty databases are logical. They are not physical unless you create at least one object. If I see here which database I connected, lab, it is saying. Which database I connected, lab, what it's saying. But lab does not exist physically yet because it is an empty database. Empty database are logical only, not physical. If I go out of this, database to other database, this database will be discarded. It never exists. It's a logical. So now I'm going to create one table. I'm going to create a table. db.student. It's not a table. We say collection here. Okay. Student.insert. It will create the collection automatically. Before I create a collection, to find the collection, we use show collections. Don't worry about these commands. I'm going to explain in detail with a clear-cut document. Okay. First, understand. It doesn't have any collection at the moment. I just use the database db.student. Everything is dynamic. Everything is dynamic. It will create automatically everything. It won't reject any action here. This format I'll explain tomorrow. What I'm doing, I'll explain all this format tomorrow. You don't worry about. Anybody can understand. LKG guy also can understand this after tomorrow class. That simple it is. For now, I'm not focusing about address either. Okay, I'm giving this. That's it. One object is created. Show collections. You have one collection called student, and you have the data called one record. So don't worry about the commands. Only observation is important as of now. If I go to the background, you see there is a lab folder is created. If I go into the lab, I'll find 2 files, one index file, one data file. So what is the file structure, how they created, what kind of dependencies we have, we're going to talk about very in detail as we move on. Just we are talking about basic installation today. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the server. Okay, let me create some more database to talk of one more thing. Use cloud. Okay, let's create the same object. Doesn't matter what I'm creating here. Okay, use class, create the same object. Now go and check in the background. It is created for every database one folder. So it will make your job easy. Which database is growing, which collections are growing. It is easy because these folders are coming because you mentioned directory per DB true. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop the server. db.shutdown server. I'll talk about this commands anyway. For now, I'm shutting down. Quit the session. Control C. It will quit the session. Okay. Control C. Or else use exit. Either of it. Now if I go and check the MongoDB server, it is not running. I stopped it. I shut down it. db.shutdown server, it will shut down. There is no MongoDB server as of now. I'll delete all this content, rmf and rf, delete everything. So I'm going to start the MongoDB server again. It will start the fresh server. But before that, I'm going to go and modify the config file. To what? I wanted to remove the directory per DB. This one is so important. If you forget this one, it will be so problematic. You can't rectify this. You have to, uh, reload the system, rebuild the system almost. That parameter if you lost, if you don't add it during the installation. I did not add it intentionally. I removed it. What happens if I remove it? Let's see. So directory per DB should exist under the storage, but it doesn't there. Still, MongoD -f. Instead, I used -f config or -f. Both are same, interchangeable. I'm starting the server. Server started. Now, if I go to if I go to here, everything will come at one place. There is no database folders, nothing. You lose the control. All files will build here only. Finding which file belong to which database, it's absolutely nightmare in MongoDB. It's very, very tough. In fact, use lab I'm creating and db.student I'm loading similar data again. Okay, insert just one single field. It's done. Now show DBs, you'll find it. Okay. Now, do you find the folder here? No, you don't find. You will find that ls-l, okay, wc-l. It will grow by 21 files, right? If I create one more collection under the same database or different database, student, right? db.teacher dot insert one more different collection to create another set of files. T number 1. So now you had 21, it will become 23. See, 23, because every collection will create one data file, one index file by default. If you create more indexes, more index files will be created automatically. What kind of things, this will, why this will create, I'll explain. For now, what I wanted to make you understand is what is the meaning of directory per DB. This is so important. If you forget, you lose the control like this. I don't know which collection, which file belong to which database here. It is very tough. You can't find physically. You can't find which database is growing fast, which database not. You lose the entire control, administrative control on the storage side. Okay, if you don't use one parameter, directory per DB, it is very much important, high weightage parameter. Okay, getting with and without? Yes, no. Say something. You're getting or not getting?
Yes.
Right. If I create
Right.
one more database called cloud, does it exist physically?
No.
No. If you show DBs, it won't show in the list. It won't show in the list. It doesn't exist physically, but logically it will show. If I switch from here to other database, it's gone. Logically also gone. Unless you make one object, use it again, create one object, then only that name will be permanent. Else it's a volatile name, absolutely volatile. If you don't create any object, you just switch the database, then absolutely it's volatile. It won't show in the list. It won't exist in the physically also. So that's why you have to create at least one object in a database to make it physical. That anyway I'll talk about again. For now, let's come back and talk about the parameters. These parameters are very basic. We're going to add encryptions, we're going to add a replica set, we're going to add sharding, we are going to add encrypted communications. There are many parameters going to be added here. It will become very big lengthy config file. As you understand point by point, I am going to add point by point and then discuss about each point. This is what is going to drive the MongoDB server, what you are going to have it inside the Mongo. These parameters are very much important. If Mongo has to have some feature, you have to enable the feature here first. Auditing, server auditing, what to be audited, only DML, DDL are all commands should be audited, only one database to be audited or entire server to be audited, one user only to be audited, everything you can mention here, and it tracks automatically. So there are many things. For this batch, I'm going to add enterprise, at least installation, auditing, and few of the features I never discussed in the previous batches. Okay, this is something plus for this batch for you. Okay, anyway, so now see guys, starting the server MongoD -f etc. What we have used Mongo server here to match all the discussion. Mongo server mongodb.conf. Right, you start the server with either of the command. Use any of the command, absolutely fine. It will start the server. Right, any questions on the installation? I'll recap everything what we have done.
Yeah, so Ravinder, if you go back to that script, yeah, this one, start the
Mm,
server.
mm, mm,
Okay, the last one.
mm,
So what you're trying to say is you're invoking Mongo demo, and
mm,
you're telling the command that whatever be the parameters written in Mongo config file, my
mm.
servers should start with those parameters. Is my
Correct,
understanding right?
absolutely correct. Mm.
Okay.
You're right. It is going to this file. It is finding this parameter. This parameter is saying keep the log file here. This parameter is saying keep the data file here. This parameter is saying run as a service in the background. This parameter is saying allow which one to be allowed. What is the port it has to be connected with. So these parameters
Okay.
are used by the MongoD to start the server.
Okay. And what I understood so far is, I'm new for the Linux, so
Yeah,
I
no,
really
it's
do
okay.
not have any
No, you
idea.
ask.
So, yeah.
Ask. Mm.
So what so far what I have seen is you didn't install anything. Logically, you didn't install anything. You extracted the tar folder, zip folder into a directory, into a binary bin folder, and you started the service using this command.
Correct.
There is
That's
no
correct.
separate installation as such. Like in Windows, we install the
Correct. Yeah.
applications, right?
This is
So
how.
in
If you talk
okay,
about Postgres, if you talk about MySQL, I work on all those products. In fact, you install that, like you run from the binaries. Okay, you have to install the product two ways. Here also,
yeah.
all Linux platform products are like that only. In fact, binary based product, most of the products in the Linux platform use the binaries
Mm,
and give the config, it will start anyway. Even Postgres also, it will build its own config automatically when you run the server anyway, when you initialize the cluster. But it uses the config only to pick up the directories and start automatically. Installation literally is something you config only.
So if it comes to the Windows operating system,
Mm.
the logic applies the same, right? We don't install anything on the Windows operating system also. We just extract the binary into some folder and we
No,
start
no, 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 no. In Windows platform, you will have a exe file. It's a
exe.
exe file. You have to run a next kind of. Let me show Linux version in Windows version quickly as you are talking about it. If I go to here, where is the Windows? Right here. So it is a MSI file, which is a exe file, right? It's a zip file. It's MSI file. If I download this, directly it will download this file. Okay. It's hit next to finish. It's that way. All Windows installations are like that.
Okay.
It
Okay.
will install here.
Mm-hmm.
Let this download. I'll show you. Is it done? Done, I guess. Okay, if I go to downloads, if I run this setup, okay. See here, hit next, accept, hit next, like that. I already have it. It is asking to, like a remove or custom. Let's go with the custom or complete. So hit next, 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 install. It will install the product. it is Windows term, right? Windows will follow the similar thing. So I guess already have 6.0. Let's see. Windows are like that. It's a here how long it is taking to run. That's why these products are preferable to run on the Linux flavors. It's a code-based system. You work everything through the code only. Okay.
Okay.
So it's not a good product for the Windows platform because the product is code and the Windows the Linux is also code based. The operating system does not create any resource crunch, but Windows will create every wizard you open. It's an unnecessary load on the OS especially. Let it get installed. I already installed, I guess. Let me see. Come on. The search bar is something dead slow for me. Hey,
Location, the binary that we extracted, that is the only location from where we are invoking all the binaries, right? Including the MongoDB.
yes, yes, exactly. It will anyway install. When it install, it will build the binaries in the background in the location. Correct.
Okay.
Here, how long it is taking to install? How fast it was in Linux? Do you see the difference? So quick. It doesn't have to do anything much. But Windows, it has to do all this. This is the difference. The slowness and all that. So it is a highly used on the Linux platforms only. Windows platform you may see, but percentage wise in the market 5%. 95% of the infrastructure on the MongoDB will be Linux flavor only. Come on, it's taking. See how badly it is taking. Anyway, come back to our discussion quickly. I'll recap when that is doing the job. So, firstly, we have created a service account. If you go and check every file, see it is owned by what? These files are built by the product. So all files are created by the product. See here, all the everywhere you see the service account is a owner and it is able to create it as well. Why it is able to create? Because we gave the ownership here and we create this directories also with the service account. Within the directory, when the server get rebooted or when the server is started, all the files are created here. When it is created by the our service account. See, I use the SVC Mongo only to start the server because these directories are owned by SVC Mongo. You have to start the server using the SVC Mongo only in this format. It's a user managed installation. You can't use a root account. There is a system managed installation that I did not touch yet, and that will be discussed at the end of the course as a enterprise edition. Okay, or any edition you can install, but we will install enterprise edition. We'll explore the enterprise version also. In this, especially in this batch. So user managed installation, you must have a service account, and that service account only will be used to stop the server, start the server, doing anything. In fact, you have to manage the entire server using the service account only. Okay, it's mandatory. Getting for now, you may get here and there doubts maybe for some people. If you have it, you can open up and ask. If you are not asking still, you get the answer as we move on. You yourself figure it out why it is required, kind of, because I'm starting the server using this account only every time. You see, so far whenever I started the server, I'll quit this one, exit. Okay, now you go and check here. I started the server with the Mongo service account. I started everywhere in the previous section. If I start the server with the root account, it is going to create the mess, in fact. So let's do the bad thing anyway. This is not a troubleshooting class, but still, let's. Oh, come on, what the heck? It is not even going away. Right. So I'm going to stop the server for now. Mongo as such. DB.shutdown server. This used to work only in the admin database in the old versions. Now it is working everywhere, this command. Anyway, you don't worry about that side for now. ps-ef grep Mongo. Okay. Now all the files in the data directory are owned by what? Our service account. Now I'm going to start the server using the root. It will throw the error anyway, but it will create some files in the background that create the mess. So easy to resolve anyway. So I'm going to start the MongoDB server, MongoDB conf. It start the server. It's not logged off and login the root account. Let's log in. We'll do all the bad things. Don't worry. That's where you explore the product. Do the bad things first. So Mongo SH is calling. It is calling. So MongoD -f etc Mongo server Mongo. So what happened with this? If you go to here, the files, some files actually created with the root. You by mistake you started with the root. It's okay, but when you restart from the Mongo service account, you're gone. It won't start because of the file is not owned by root account, service account. Now what I'm going to do, this is a mistake people do. It happens sometimes, not all the cases. Now I'll go to Mongo server. There is a maintenance. I shut down the server. Last time someone started with root account, it started good enough, but issue comes when the next restart. So exit. Now he is trying to someone else comes and then start the server from the root. Okay. Now it is throwing the error. Why it is throwing the error? Where to find? It is throwing because of this file. To find exactly why it is failing, you have to read the Mongo log. This is a source of truth for us. For any troubleshooting, you come to the log only. Now you will read the log. Okay. If you read the log, it is clearly written unsupported upgrade, or what it is saying, permission denied. Where the permission is denied, on what file? This is the file. It is clearly saying it. Where Mongo server turtle. Okay, here white tiger turtle. So to start the server again, you have to take the ownership back to our service account. So this is what happens if someone start the server with the root. So here ch own recursive, if anything is there, not only this, anywhere, any subdirectories, it is owned by root, it should be recursively take the ownership. -r means. So svc mongo, svc mongo, that's it. Svc mongo, MongoDB. Okay. Then asterisk. Asterisk means everything, wherever, I don't care. All has to be owned by this, in fact. If I run this, now can you take the ownership again? This is owned by root. Can I switch the ownership myself? Yes, no. There are many
No.
such files. You see, there is a diagnostic file, there is a journal file, there is some others. There are these many files are created with the root. Okay. As this file is owned by root, root only can give you that permission back to you. So this is a big problem. You should not, start with the root account. It is so important. So chown, use the svc mongo, svc mongo, right? Mongo only, right? MongoDB asterisk everywhere, and recursive. Go to subfolders also. If there
But
is,
you're logged in with SVC Mongo only, right? In this session.
oh come on, it's still svc mongo. Sorry, this also will throw the error, of course. Good thing. Where is the root? Here is the root. Where Mongo server data. So now here I have to run this command. So it's going to take out all the permissions to our service account. It will transfer. -r means not only in the current directory, go inside the directory, wherever you have. Everywhere you map to this account. Hyphen means recursive ownership. For ownership, you have to give the capital R. For copying recursively or deleting recursively, small r. We use a small r. Okay. This capital R for the changing the permissions recursively in the subfolders wherever they are. I'm giving Mongo, SVC Mongo, whatever the file, just look for any file. It should be owned by this. This recursive says that you have a directory. Inside the directory, any file, anything is owned by any other account, you should transfer to this only. This will make sure that this parameter. Then I'll start the MongoDB. This happens not
Ravinder,
only by.
in the real-time scenario,
Mm,
this chown command, this permission,
mm.
uh, do we have access to run this command in the real time, or will it be with the
As a
platform?
DBA, you are a sudo. You will be sudo. You are installing the product means you are a sudo. Else you can't do. In Windows, if you go to, we all will be local administrator, right? All DBAs.
Yes.
The similar
Yeah.
way, here also you will have a root privilege. With that, you do anything you wanted. You can fix it like this yourself. Now
Okay.
I'll start the server from here. It will start. This happens very rarely, but you have to aware of that. If it is someone started, you have to take the ownership back again and start the server. It will start. This is how things will happen. Okay. So this is what I was pointing also yesterday. Ownership, the service account, like a permission set and all that. Day before yesterday. If you are trying to create or doing anything on the directory, base directory, you should have a permission. First of all, if I am running the server, it is trying to claim this file, but it's claimed by different account. It can't read it to start the server. Not only here, there is a white tiger log file. What is white tiger, what is log file is something we'll talk about in the architectures in detail. Okay, so this is how the account dependency is. In fact, any questions?
Ravinder, can you explain that command chown -r
Hmm.
this service account MongoDB?
What I am saying is ch1 means change ownership to whom? Service account SVC Mongo. This is a group. Where and what files? Every file in the current directory. Star means everything in where I am connected. This hyphen R, what it does, not only current directory, you have some directory. Inside the directory, any file or any directory owned by anyone, that also change it to this. This is a recursive. Go inside the directories. Any directory you have it, go inside and do recursively wherever, whatever the file owned by whoever, it should be transferred the ownership to this account. This is going to make sure.
Okay, change owner recursively uh, to this service account
Correct.
colon. Yeah, MongoDB is the group, right?
Group. This group. We changed it.
Yeah, and asterisk is in
All
whichever.
files. All in the current directory. All files. Asterisk means everything.
Okay,
I have only one file. Here I would have given only one file also. Even if it is there anywhere, any of the file, it will call from the current directory. Current directory only. It does not go to here. To go inside, this is going to help. -r.
right.
Inside this. Recursively. Go everywhere. Wherever it is not owned by service account, just change it to service account simply. Okay?
Yeah.
So, Ravinder, one question from my side.
Go ahead.
So, to run the MongoDB service in Linux, you should have a service account should have a sudo access. So that is a mandate thing.
Service
Is
account
that
should
right?
have?
Sudo
No
access.
sudo. No. Service account only having the ownership on the directory where we are running the server. This is where I'm running the server. This is
Okay.
owned by service account. That's it. All our data directory, log directory, setup directory is here, and also it is owning one more directory called etc. Also, it is to keep our configs server config file. We are created one Mongo server folder under etc. Also that also owned by service account. That's it. Two folders.
Mm,
It's not
okay.
sudo. It's not a sudo.
Okay.
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 Ravinder, one more question. Can you
Hmm.
scroll up the screen? So
Hmm.
before that change owner thing. Yeah, change owner.
Change owner I did here.
Yeah, change owner to this service account
Mm,
uh, associated to this group. So, but
mm.
I see here a file root is the owner
This
and root is the
before. This is
before.
before
Yes,
the. Mm,
before. So you are giving change the ownership to SVC Mongo
mm.
wherever the group is MongoDB.
Well, not MongoDB, whatever it is, doesn't matter, not just MongoDB. Correct. Wherever, whatever, if these are all files owned by root, assume a case, it will turn to be this account automatically. All the files in the current directory, all the files inside the child directories also.
Okay. In this case, can I give change owner hyphen R service account colon root asterisk?
You can give, the group is not going to play any role as long as you're the owner of the files and directory. Owner is the highest privilege, right? The owner can take care. Group can be anything, doesn't matter. Still root also, you can start it.
Oh, okay.
Owner important, but for the sake of the standard, we will keep the whatever this service account is associated into what group, that group will give it here also.
Oh, okay.
That's the standard.
From where it refers this service account? See, when you started using root, right? Okay, it has started. Okay,
Hmm,
but it has
hmm,
created a new files there in using the root.
correct.
Okay,
Hmm, hmm.
and it was reading the existing files as well, right?
Hmm, root can read anything. Root
Yeah,
has no
exactly.
limitation,
Indeed, yeah. Okay,
right? Hmm.
so is it like how it is specified? This config file that you have it, okay,
No, no, no.
is owned.
When we are running with a service account like this. So service account is specified here. As I'm running, this is what it is calling the entire the parameters. Parameter used by the service account. Service account owning the parameter where the data directory, log directory is there. It is calling that and building the files because it is going through. You're running with the service account a server. The server is reading the parameters. The parameters are there where the service account is owning already.
Okay,
Okay,
got it.
it is that way. So this is a very basic thing. I'll cover recap this quickly tomorrow. Whatever we have done entirely, I'll recap in 10 minutes with including installation. I'll remove everything, reinstall again so quickly, then move to the architecture side of discussion. Okay. Then we'll come back to the admin side again. First, architectures are so important to understand a lot of topics. So what is this file? What is that file? You don't know yet, right? What is journal? You don't know. It is very important for the recovery of the system. So what it exactly does, we will go through all the file system first and understand the architecture for the reads, writes, and the background dependencies, everything. Then we'll come to the slowly come to the first development part, development portion. Then we'll go to the admin portion. Anyway, admin is a main focused area. This maybe roughly 4 or 5 classes out of admin. The rest of the classes are all entirely on the admin. Okay, yeah, that's all for today. So any questions before I stop the video? Fine.